Certainly looks like another case of the president's carrot and stick approach to foreign policy. We've seen him offer incredibly tough sanctions to countries like Russia, China, North Korea, at the same time that he offers to meet with their leaders, offers high praise to their leaders, then meets with their leaders, and in the aftermath of those meetings offers more high praise and promises of progress made there. Now he's doing that very same thing with Iran. Last week, you'll remember, the president treated to Iranian President Rouhani in all caps, never ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. That was the stick. And then yesterday, during the joint press conference with the Prime Minister of Italy, came the carrot, as Mr. Trump suggested a meeting with Iranian President Rouhani.
I'll meet with anybody. I believe in meeting. The Prime Minister said it better than anybody can say it. Speaking to other people, especially when you're talking about potentials of war and death and famine and lots of other things. You meet. There's nothing wrong with meeting. We met, as you know, with Chairman Kim, and you haven't had a missile fired off in 9 months.
Well, no missiles fired, but Fox News has now confirmed that North Korea continues to build intercontinental ballistic missiles as well as fissile material. And a recent similar back and forth with Iran. The Pentagon tells us that Iran has ceased all aggressive gunboat incursions against U.S. warships, something that was very common during the Obama administration. But with President Trump's offer of a face-to-face meeting with Rouhani, Iran immediately took the upper hand. The Iran Fars news agency reporting that it sees no value in a face-to-face meeting. Iran added that in order for any meeting to take place, the U.S. needs to rejoin the Iran nuclear negotiations with the rest of Europe. And that's where it stands right now, Sandra.
And Doug, today marks day one of the Paul Manafort trial. What do we expect there?
Well, we're not expecting any fireworks right off the bat in that trial. Of course, it gets underway with jury selection, which will likely take a few days. This is the first of two trials for Paul Manafort, this one in the Eastern District of Virginia, the second taking place in Washington, D.C. Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller really needs to win one of these two trials. He's putting maximum pressure on Manafort, keeping him in solitary confinement in advance of his trial. And if he doesn't win a conviction in Virginia, there's a much greater likelihood, a lot of legal experts say, that he wins one in the District of Columbia. Keep in mind that in the last election in 2016, only 4% of District of Columbia voters voted for Donald Trump. Tall odds against Paul Manafort in the District of Columbia.